On today's episode of Wellness on the Rocks, I'm joined by an incredibly talented and hardworking sommelier who created and currently runs the wine program at Deckman's North, the Baja-inspired restaurant led by acclaimed chef Drew Deckman. In our conversation today, we talk about how my guest approaches wine as an extension of hospitality and leads with curiosity, conversation, and connection. This conversation today highlights the behind-the-scenes human side of being a sommelier in today's hospitality industry. Welcome to Wellness on the Rocks from Deckman's North, Jenny Meyer. Are you listening to any podcasts these days?
I'm so lame. I'm such a girl, but I call her daddy, of course.
Oh, you do? Yeah, dude. I remember hearing about her story and reading about all the behind the scenes, and I was just like, yo, this is great. Like the ability to grow and connect and make money in this, the podcasting space is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It really is.
Totally. And taking off.
And it's not too late. I think people are like, oh, the bubble already hatched and stuff. So what are you gonna, I don't know. It's a waste of time, but dude, I don't know. There's so many untapped creative avenues with the way that social media is working.
100%.
And, restaurants and everybody is or a lot of people I see are gravitating towards social media growth to try to grow sales.
Totally.
So I'm just in my creative brain, I'm like, how do I do that? How do I become a part of that?
Totally.
And you have the big platforms who are the juggernauts, but I don't know, a lot of people, you saw that thing, Andre, I don't know if it was Andre 3000. He just got inducted into the Hip Hop Music Hall of Fame, and his quote was "These things started in small rooms."
Yeah, they always do.
Fuck it, They
always do. Yep.
Well, cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Appreciate you joining me today.
Yeah.
I got you a little gift.
Aw.
This is a rosé. Somebody recommended this for you.
Awesome.
So that's for coming on the pod and kind of.
Thank you. Le Beaujolais Village.
Yeah.
Love it. Gorgeous.
I got that at Vino Carta in Little Italy.
I love Vino Carta.
Yeah.
They're great people there. That's a lot of fun. It's a good space.
It's small. It's intimate. I feel like the people there are super nice. So.
Very much so. Well, I also brought you a gift. It's for us to share today, but
nice.
I brought a little Gruner Veltliner from Central Coast for us.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of wine is this?
So Gruners are typically found in the Austria region or top of France region, in the Alsace region. But they also grow in very small productions here in California and Central Coast because it's cold enough for them to kind of thrive. But a lot of the times here in California, they get a little bit too, let's call the term round, flabby, they can kind of lose their acid a little bit. So when I found this one, this producer's called Cadre. It's a husband and wife owned and operated winery out of San Luis Obispo.
Sweet.
And I've been working with these guys this is my fourth restaurant now that I've been bringing wines on by them. I kind of create relationships and what do you want to call it? Preferences, I guess, with certain people that you really like, and you like their style and you like their vino. And this is now the fourth restaurant that I'm like, you know what, these guys are going to come with me again.
Nice.
And yeah, so I found this Gruner that they did, and I'm just like, hell yeah, this is gonna come on my list for sure.
So where is this out of?
San Luis Obispo.
Where's that?
Central Coast, so right up the road, one of the first stops past LA essentially.
Okay.
So
nice, dude.
a 4.5 hour drive.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you've sort of been building your relationships with these wine companies throughout your career.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a really big part of what you do, I guess, huh?
Yep. Very much so. It's you just start to find little projects that are kind of in alignment with what your project is, and then you're like, okay, cool. This is also in alignment with what now my current project is too. But you also have created a relationship, and their style, their story, and you're like, hell yeah, you can come onto this project now with me too.
I definitely see that too. It's relationship building is so important in this industry.
Totally.
Yeah. Whether you're a somm like you, or I'm a bartender in an Irish pub, with the relationship with the reps, relationship with the customers, with other people who are doing bars in town, because you never know, the economy, when something like COVID happens and everything and shit hits the fan. Yep. It's nice to have friends in the industry.
100%.
And to have that, I don't know. It helps in any ways. So let's do a little tasting.
Let's have a little tasting, a little toast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so you're a somm. You work at Deckman's North.
I do.
So, okay. I'm going to let you I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
No, you're fine. You're great. I can listen and pour at the same time. It's kind of part of the gig, if you will.
I think it's a cool thing that I'm bringing you on today because I work in an Irish pub and I don't have too much wine knowledge.
Sure.
So I thought it would be kind of cool just to like talk to you about your process and to sort of like, I don't know, showcase what you guys are doing up at Deckman's and sort of pick your brain for people who aren't really as comfortable with the wine.
Totally.
And I think sometimes it could be a little intimidating.
For sure.
For guys like me who are like, slinging like pints of Guinness and Jameson shots, like, so what do we got going on here?
Totally. So let's cheers first
Cheers.
and foremost. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. So really, like, wine is just literally just another avenue, another asset for people to come together and to enjoy conversation and to enjoy their meal, right? So that's all it is. So anytime any of my guests are even feeling a little bit nervous or uncomfortable, like I always remind them, like, it's just another tool to like connect. Like that's all it is. It's just the same bottle on the table for all of you to enjoy at the same time. And it's just my job to help you choose or help you distinguish between what is on the list to help make the meal more cohesive.
Got you.
That's all it is. So like anytime anyone's like, I don't know what to pick, I don't know, I'm like, that's literally what I'm here for. Like, let me help you, you know? And like people like you are actually my favorite type of people. The people that are like, I don't know one thing. I don't even know what I like. I don't even know where to begin. And I'm like, cool. So I basically have a blank canvas to help you figure it out. Perfect. So like this one, for example, like I like really, like it's like, I refer to it as like zippy, like high acidity wines. So like think about like anytime you have a cocktail with like higher acid, right? Like let's take like a margarita, for example, right? Just a lot of like fresh lime juice, like that little ting in the back of your tongue, that's acid. And every cocktail needs acid to be balanced, right? Otherwise they'd all be sweet, they'd all be creamy, they'd all lose their kind of structure. And it's the same way with wine. Like you need to have acidity to make the wine balanced. And so every time you take a sip and your mouth salivates, that's the acid coming through.
Okay.
And I like wines that definitely have a little bit of body and a little bit of texture, but then still have like really high zippy acidity because it makes your mouth salivate and it makes you want to take another bite and it makes you want to take another sip and then like away the conversation goes, right? So like you're eating, you're drinking, you're having a great time.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I saw that like there's like different parts of your tongue have different like taste buds and stuff like that. Like
exactly.
I think like there's like a part of your tongue that measures the bitterness, the sweet, the sour, and it's like, is that something that like you go through the process of being a som is like how to taste part with your tongue?
Yeah. So like there's like 3 different levels and like the side that registers acidity is on the sides.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the sweetness up front and then the bitterness is in the back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then as you're learning to like distinguish like what wines are what from where and why, like you start to feel wines differently. And then like, yes, you have those 3 components, but then you also have like the weight and the texture. And then if you start into, move into the aging process, like what is it aged in and for how long? And then all of that goes into the weight and the body of the wine as well. So you just start to break all of that down and then it becomes like what you personally like and then what matches dishes well and then what you think your guests would like.
Got you. Well, there's so much I want to get into today. I have a lot of stuff that I want to pick your brain about your process, everything. So let's, So what, I'm sorry, what kind of wine is this again?
This is called Gruner Veltliner.
Gruner Veltliner. Okay.
Yeah. So this is one of my guest favorites because it is like,
it's very light.
It's very light. Mm-hmm. Like, but
it's not like too acidic.
No, but it's still like very balanced and pretty. It's like a little bit tropical, a little bit stone fruit. It has like that good kind of like mid-palate salinity before you swallow it because it's grown so close to the ocean. So it gets like coastal breezes.
I was going to ask you about that,
which like also affects the varietal as well. Anytime you have anything really grown close to the coast, which is like my entire wine program essentially, because I only pull wines from 2 areas of the world, the Valle de Guadalupe in Mexico, which is Mexico's wine region, and then Central Coast. So I've had to really like wormhole my way and find varietals and people and stories that match what we're doing and then also kind of like fit a certain puzzle piece.
So it's down by the coast, so that means it gets a lot more rain or less rain?
No, it's completely dependent rain is rain is rain. Like rain is completely dependent on the year, but it gets more like coastal fog in the morning. So like think about how we get the marine layer. Like you're here in Point Loma, right? Yeah. Like it's cloudy here until 2 p.m. sometimes, right? Yeah. Same way as the coast. So if the fog moves in and it takes longer to burn off, the grapes are getting that ocean air, like that salinity.
And
because it's coming in across the ocean.
Right. And so what does that do to the grape in the process?
It just kind of makes them have a little bit more like almost like a natural salinity to the grape. Like it has like a little bit more of like a salty component. Again, completely varietal dependent as well, and completely dependent on which way the wind is facing also. So like if it's more western facing, it'll get more breeze. But if it's eastern facing, it won't get as much of that morning fog. And it's just dependent on how up the coast it is and how inland from the coast it is too.
Okay.
So same as here. Like if you live in Mission Valley, it'll be sunny and warm by 11 a.m.
It's very different. Yeah, it's really different down here, the weather and the climate.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it's the same way 5 hours north, right? So the closer you are to the coast, the more saturated they're getting with that like morning fog and that morning like air.
So I have a question about the process. So they have the vineyard and there's all the grapes and the lines, and it takes like 3 months to grow, or?
Oh, no. Like, I mean, some vineyards have been planted like since like the 80s. So, but they harvest every year.
So you harvest every year. So it's just a process of,
So, but dependent on how long the vines have been there and how long what has been actually produced that year, like what the actual like crop is, just because like anything else, like grapes are a crop, right? So It's just about like what the climate really produced that year.
So it's like one big vine.
Well, no, they're on trellises. So so every vineyard probably has like 40 to 50 different trellises depending on the acreage. But they harvest every year in the September time. So sometimes as early as late August, sometimes as late as the third week of September.
Okay. So it's about like a year process for the grape to grow.
Yep.
And then they harvest the grape. And then how do you go from the grape to being in a bottle that's corked?
You do a whole vinifying process. So yeast and sugar makes alcohol that gets fermented. So the fermentation process happens. Okay. And then that basically gets pressed down into some type of, whether it's stainless steel or some type of vat where the wine actually is becoming the wine, because for yeast eats the sugar and that creates alcohol, right? And now we basically just have alcohol in grapes, and then we basically have to filtrate it, we have to fine it, and then it gets put into whatever aging system the winery chooses, dependent on the varietal itself. So a lot of times it'll just go into stainless steel. Like this obviously has not seen any oak, so this just goes right into stainless steel vats, and then maybe rests in that vat for 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
And then sometimes, we'll be ready to release right away the next year. Sometimes wineries will lay down their wines for another 18 to 24 months in the barrel. Okay. I have a winery that I work with in the Valle that he doesn't release anything that comes into the bottle for a minimum of 3 years. So it's completely dependent on the varietal and the winemaker.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And does that time process, does that change obviously, like what does it do to the wine?
So it just makes it a little bit more like structured, and like it's, again, completely dependent on varietal, but I'm trying not to get too like tweaky and geeky.
No, I'm just interested in these things.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm always really interested.
I'm trying to speak like in generics, which like is really hard for my brain because I'm like, ooh.
You can no, I mean, well, do what you do. Imagine if we were at the table.
Totally. It basically just if you have a wine that is a really like thick skin, really like robust, hearty, grape. It's the same thing as like, for example, like Scotch. Like, do you want to drink like, like just something in the well, or do you want to drink like Macallan 18, right? Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So
that must be delicious. But.
Right. So it's the same thing with wine. Like anytime you add in aging components, whether it's, oak or cement, it is basically going to make the wine significantly softer, and it makes the bouquet brighter, and it makes the tannins more luscious. So it kind of just helps the wine really, really be itself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I like this a lot.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. This is one of my guest favorites too. And I like the story behind it. I like that it's like husband and wife owned and operated. The gentleman who is the winemaker, his grandfather actually helped put Slow San Luis Obispo on the map as far as an AVA is concerned. So they're like 3-generation winemakers, and they have a couple kids, and they employ a local artist out of Santa Barbara to do their labeling, which I also love. You know, it's like very like small, like production. It's just very like mom and pop, which I love.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I walked into Vino Carta last night, there's just, it's like hundreds and thousands of bottles, all with different labels, and it's like, how do you catch somebody's eye that like puts them into, you know what I mean? It's just such an interesting creative process, you know?
Totally.
There's so much that goes into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
From like, you know, the harvesting to the, you know, the marketing of it, the labeling, the bottling, like it's a lot.
And then you add in like the, you know, the distribution and like the getting it actually into the guest's hand is like a whole nother thing.
So, how did you've been, can you kind of just talk me through your process from when you started out in restaurants to when you're now like the Somm at Deckman's and sort of like your growth?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long process, but, so I started literally when I was 16 years old. Like restaurant work is pretty much like all I've ever done. I literally started as a hostess at like my local restaurant back in upstate New York called the Ripe Tomato. It was like this super cute mom and pop owned little place that we would all go on like special occasions. And then from there, I went from hostess to serving, and then serving to bartending. And then as I was like kind of migrating more and more up and up in the industry as I would go, I would meet people that were so knowledgeable in the world of wine, so knowledgeable. And it became, you know, the more they knew, the more they obviously not only made monetarily, but the more like valuable they became to the actual business itself. And I just like wanted to be that. Like, I just was like, that is the Michael Jordan of this restaurant. And like, I want to know what you know, and I want to be able to talk about it with such comfortability and such ease the way that they did. And I just listened and tried to ask as many questions in like an unobtrusive, unannoying way that I could in my very early 20s. And then when I moved here in 2007, I quickly learned like, oh, this is like all California. Like 100% of wine lists are like 80% California wines, which on the East Coast is not that way. It's like Spain and France and Germany and a lot more European, old world, if you will, because it's like we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away across the Atlantic, right? So it's like, obviously that's where our wine list is going to take, you know, it's
regional.
It's regional. It's inspiration from, it's right there. So to be here, I'm like, oh, this is like all California, which like I was not used to working in that environment at all. So quickly had to learn and adapt like all the different AVAs, all the different styles out here. And I originally got a job in La Jolla when I first moved here on Prospect Street, and I worked there for over a decade. And we had a contest of like who could sell the most of this wine, right? Like whoever sold the most of this wine from this producer got to take their introductory level 1 at the winery. Like they're essentially going to pay for you guys to go to this winery, and they're going to host you, and they're going to pay for you to get your level 1. And I'm like, put me in, coach. Like, say less. Like, let's go. I've always been like very competitive anyway. And when that opportunity presented itself, I was like, here we go. Like, let's go. So I knew right away, like I was obviously going to do my absolute best to win the contest, which I did. It was myself and a good friend of mine. We went up to Paso and took our introductory level 1 and passed, and got to take the course from like 3 like super old school like master somms, like which was like some of like the very first master somms like ever. And so that was really cool to be able to hear their stories, and to hear like, you know, this one time I was drinking this chateau, this Bordeaux at this chateau with this king and queen. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this life? Like, this is wild. Like, this is absolutely wild. Like,
it's next level
stories and storytelling. So that was 2016. And then, took my level 2 years later, 2018 here in San Diego. And, originally I was like, okay, you know, La Jolla is great and it's amazing, and the people there are fantastic, but there's not really a lot of room to be creative in the restaurant that I was working in, because it was like kind of more of a corporate style, and people there really love their Napa Cab and their Russian River Shard, and that's just kind of who they are, and that's cool, and I love that. But like I realized, like, if you're going to be creative and if you're going to build something, like, this isn't going to be the space for you. So I made a really hard choice and left, and found my way down into Little Italy and worked at Kettner Exchange for a few years. And that's when I met like Caitlin, the GM who was there at the time, and she's like, I want your hands and your voice and your opinion like all over this wine list. Like, clearly you have such a strong background in wine. And she was really the only person there at the time that also did. And she felt like that was an area kind of like of lacking for her staff at the time. And so I was like, great, once again, put me in, coach. Like, let's, but it was also a completely different area of the city, completely different people. And so that was my first official like place that I got to have like a voice in and around the wine program. But then COVID happened, 2020, the world closed. And then 2021, I joined the team at Anime.
Got you.
And worked with Taylor, who was the beverage director there at the time. And once again, she was like, please help me. She was also running that and Urban Woods simultaneously. And she's like, please, all the voice, all the help, like all the tastings, like help me. Yeah. I'm like, great. Yes, please. So once again, just kind of got my voice in there a little bit and just kind of helped reopen them from COVID. And that's like when Chef Tara started to take the reins there. So that was like really cool. Like seeing her kind of come up and get her, footing and really, have the reins at that restaurant was like super cool to be a part of. And then Wormwood opened with the Romero brothers. And I, made the choice to join that project because my best friend at the time was the GM, and the Romero brothers are incredible chefs. And I'm like, yeah. And that was my first official like wine list from its inception.
That's cool. I think from our conversations, like over coffee and stuff, it seems like you like starting processes, projects, and like, saying, hey, this is how we're going to start this. You build it up. You set the tone for the restaurant, and you say, what's my next challenge? Like, how can I grow to the next step?
Yeah.
What's it? So when you say you started the wine program, like, that's got to be like, there's so much that probably goes into that, like your budget, your like space, like,
yeah.
What's it like creating a program?
So it's like, I basically just get the parameters from the owner of like how many SKUs they're thinking. Okay. And then I add 5 or 10, and then I immediately start with, and I kind of get the concept of the restaurant, right? Like obviously Wormwood is very different than Deckman. So I knew like this is going to be primarily at Wormwood, a very like French conceptually wine list. So okay. I kind of had my parameters of like a lot of French and a lot of Californian. And like I can kind of dibble dabble a little bit in other areas, but those were the two primary regions, places that they wanted to focus on.
When you're doing a program, because I'm thinking I work at an Irish bar and we were stocked up with Jameson whiskeys, like pretty, like we're not like pushing out high end stuff.
Right.
But when you're working with high end expensive bottles like that, like that's a lot different than having like an order in a case of Stoli. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so I'm just thinking like, does that go in your head? Like, cause you got to move that product and you can't be sitting on this really expensive, nice wine for too long.
Yeah.
Is it hard to balance that from like the creative standpoint, or not the creative standpoint, but.
So I am really someone that takes value and the perception of value really, really to heart, right? So like I worked in La Jolla for over a decade, and there are no people in this town that appreciate the perception of value like La Jollans do. So I think knowing, like I always try to deliver like a little bit more fair, appropriately priced things for people, because I think that that's a lot of like where people feel comfortable living. Okay. Like for example, the wine list that I've built, I cap it around like $250, $300
a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as what sells to the customer
on the wine list. On the wine list.
Yeah. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so I'm not going to bring in something $1,000 my cost and then charge you $3,000 and sit on that bottle for 24 months. Like
that's
I'm not.
What I'm. Well, that's
I'm not
exactly. It's because if you can't move it, it's like.
It's dead inventory.
Your owners are looking at you like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I choose things that are a little bit more, moderate price. Less risk. And I think it's also more beneficial to the guest to come in and see a wine list that ends around the $250, $300 price point, because it feels more approachable.
Gotcha.
It feels like I'm here for them and for the experience, as opposed to be like, here's this super flashy $2,000-$3,000 bottle. And don't get me wrong, I've worked in spaces that they are on the list, and I love that is there, and I think that those are very important.
Yep.
But when I'm building something, I choose really not to go above that price point because
I got you. Yeah. Well, look, the reality of today in 2025 with where the restaurant industry is everybody, it's hard to go out for single people, you know, whether you have a family or kids or anything, and like everybody's looking to get value.
Totally.
I came and visited you like last week. I had a great meal. I think it was the mussels with the pork belly and the oysters, and I was like, you know, it was great. I thought you guys do a great job there. I sat at the chef's counter watching you guys work, you know, in the kitchen and stuff. And but I'm somebody who's coming out looking at like a happy hour or how can I save money. And I think it's really important. We have to sort of like the restaurants have to like tailor to the economy these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you know, that's just like, as a customer, that's what I think is like, where can I get the most value as opposed to spending money on brands and labels and these like crazy things.
Totally. And that's why I like wines. I think like this are so important because it's like, I can pass off this value to my guests that I found something that I think is beautiful and I think it's cool. And it's like, you can enjoy this bottle on a date night with your lady for like less than $80. Like, cool. I love that. Like, I love that gets to be passed on to my guests. And I had a table of 3 gentlemen that like, they enjoyed my champagne and they're like, how is this only $110? Like, what sorcery is this? Like, because one of their wives loves champagne and they go out all the time and it's always this exorbitant price point. I'm like, you know, it's just work. It's more work to find the smaller labels, the smaller guys.
It's effort and time.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Important.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know the behind the scenes that goes on, whether you're a som or whether you're running a bar or it's like, they see the front, they see the show.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's a lot of time and energy that goes into building these things.
Yes, 100%.
Whether you're doing the restaurant or you're doing a podcast like myself, like it's cool though. It's a rewarding experience.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we were talking to coffee the other day. You said something. Would you ever want to do, you said you kind of like being in front of the customer and you like having that like, you know, person to person connection.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's this part of the element of we're coming a few years out of COVID and everybody's on their phones and they're like looking for these experiences with cell phones. Sometimes I feel like there's a couple ways to think about social media in restaurants today.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people are looking for these like experiences, whether like the pretty Instagrammable bars. Mm-hmm. And I just brought on this girl, Rain, who, you know, she runs a social media agency for restaurants. And, you know, there's so many ways to look at this. Like you can use social media to drive revenue and to get people to come in. But then it's like, is there really the return on investment? And like, how much money do you put into that? Like, what do you think, dude? Like, what are you seeing in the industry today? Maybe whether it's at Deckman's or everywhere else, like, what do you think about like social media in the restaurant industry today?
I mean, I think it's just like such a double-edged sword, right? I feel like it is 100% unescapable. Like it is such a part of our culture now, and it is such a driving force for everything that we do. Like there's no way that you can have a restaurant and not have a social media account attached to that restaurant, for example, right? Like this isn't like the early 2000s where like you can just go to a meal blindly. Like everyone wants to see the pictures first and know that they're going to have like kind of an Instagrammable moment when they're there, right? Yeah. But it's also like we try really hard to have the product and have the kind of concept speak for itself as opposed to like designing the spaces that can be kind of consuming what is on the plate and what is in the glass. Like we try really hard. Like we've definitely employed people to come and take videos and take photos and they've gone back to their pages, and we've definitely seen, you know, especially like with our happy hour, like a huge uptick in revenue and in sales because
it's helping you guys.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But it's also something that you have to like stay on top of.
Keep spinning the ball, keep spending money.
Yeah, like it's not like a one time like here you go, see you 12 months later. It's like almost like a quarterly investment that you have to make if you want to continue to see, because people are, I mean, we have such a short attention spans now that it's like we'll see something go by and it's the next thing is right behind it, you know?
Yeah, I almost feel like it's what you just said. It's like the image of the bar versus the actual what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I think it's almost like it's there used to be like regulars, weekday regulars who would come in. You'd see them 3 or 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I don't know, it's like everyone's just jumping. I want to go take a picture at this bar. I want to go take a picture at this bar. I had a really good regular the other day tell me that Instagram, social media has ruined the restaurant industry. That's just what he said. Because of that is everyone's looking for the experience and less about the interaction with the restaurant, the guests, the staff, the conversation. Everyone's so plugged. You walk in a bar, you see everyone on their phones.
Yeah.
And I know you're at a really nice seafood and wine restaurant, and I work
Yeah.
at the neighborhood bar where everyone is talking to everybody, but it's like almost like it's so much less interactive.
Yeah.
And that connection is almost like, people are going out less for the connection, more for the moments.
Yeah.
It's just like an interesting way to like something to think about. And some different restaurants play to that.
Totally.
It's like the new age. The other side of that sword is we got to adapt to that.
We do, but I also think that like there is going to always be a space for like the dive bar. And I think there's always going to be a space for the restaurants that are trying to do really cool, new, relevant things. And I think that I think two truths can be true at the same time, right? I think that there's always going to be the Instagrammable spot where everyone wants to go and see and be seen and get their moment. And that's cool. But I just think that we have to kind of hold the line and be like, we're this and we're that.
That's so true.
And we're not that. And that's not to say that that isn't their own thing and that isn't relevant and can't do well. I think that there's space at the table for everybody. And the more that moves forward, which is going to, it kind of does start to feel like we're getting left behind, but it's like we still have to create spaces for people that don't care. They do not care about getting that Instagram shot. They don't. I have people that live 3 blocks away that are millionaires. I just want to go out for a simple date night and get away from the kids for a minute, and just have a beautiful meal and a good bottle of wine. And that should exist as well and be as relevant and as important as a group of girls that want to go get that Instagram shot.
Yeah. It's who do you play for?
Yeah.
Who are you kind of who are you tailoring towards?
Right.
And I guess you've been in this industry your whole career. I've been behind a bar for I think 7-8 years now, and then waited tables a bunch of years before that. But I've always, I guess, worked at local places, mom and pop style, owners on site,
Yep.
So it's just a different perspective.
For sure.
I can't say that those things don't work. They do work, I think, because the economy or the industry is moving in that. But
yeah,
I think there is an element of no, this is who we are. We're not going to change for people. And I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell. And I think that we can do our best to adapt to that and give people little bits of those moments here and there. But it's I think designing and tailoring and doing 100% of what you are thinking around that, I think at this point is silly, because I think that has almost been spoken for, you know, there's so many spaces that are doing that it's you might as well just be your corner bar. You might as well just be your Michelin restaurant and give people a good experience in that light, because there's so many restaurants and bars that are there for the flash and there for the beauty of it all, Yeah,
I gotta try to give props to the people who are putting in the work and having the consistency. I think consistency is a huge thing.
Totally.
People look for consistency instead of the high changeover and the anyways. It's tough. It's tough when consistency isn't working though. So
Yep.
I've only been a bartender. I've never run a bar program before. So you gotta, take it with a grain of salt. One thing I liked about when I came to visit you is I feel I know we kind of already talked about this, but you seem to be very engaged with people, myself and the other parties I saw you talking to, and as opposed to kind of focusing too much on, what's it like when you approach a table and you're trying to figure out where these people's price point is at? Is it how do you interact with them like, I feel like that's like a huge part of what you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a skill set. Like, I think one of my former managers like referred to me as like the Terminator. Like I could just scan the room and like know like who everybody was.
You're reading people.
I'm really good at reading people, and it's not even necessarily like what they're dressed in or what they're wearing. It's just an energy that they carry. It's like it's what the environment is that they're bringing into the restaurant. Like maybe they're in a celebratory space, maybe they're out for a once a year date night, like whatever that is, right? Like I'm just there to facilitate the experience. And at the end of the day, like I don't even really care about what the bottom line check of it all. It's like, I would rather you spend $100 with me today and I see you 2 weeks from now, and I see you 2 weeks again, and I see you 2 weeks again. Like I don't need to, have you spend this exorbitant amount with me and then see you a year later. Like I'm there for like the relationship and like the trust building of it all. And I think that creates so much more of a beautiful space, because then it's like, then you're going to tell your friend, and you're going to tell your buddy you work out with, and you're going to tell somebody you work with. And it's like, then it just becomes a snowball effect. Like, hey, I just had this great experience with Jenny. Will you come in and like dine with me and check it out with me so you can see what I'm talking about? Like, it just creates more of a relationship, That's
so important, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I've always tried to focus on at work.
Yeah.
Is just like, get them to come. How can we get you to come back? Somebody said, if you can get somebody in there 3 times, then you've got them.
Exactly. 100%.
And it's like, yeah. That's really important. I try to focus just the people, the aspects, talking to them.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do at Stout, is like, I just talk to people all day.
Yeah.
It's less about knowing the specs of Guinness or Jameson or things like that. I'm just like, tell me about your day. What's going on, dude? Yeah, dude. I had a customer the other day who came in, and he was a friend of mine too. He just lost his job.
Aww.
And he came in right from from losing his job to the bar. And he didn't really tell me until a couple beers afterwards. And I was like, I go into, all right, dude, the energy now is, I'm the entertainer for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm now like, let's take your mind off that, and how can we like just have a good time?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so the topic at hand of conversation was, is Grandma Ye flammable? And the answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
And we found out, and we were just having a good time. And
we learned something new.
And we were just like goofing around, and there's just so many different elements of the hospitality industry.
Totally.
Whether you're, in a nice wine elevated program like you're in, or you're working at a local spot, it's like engagements.
It's engagements. Yeah. And I think a lot of the time too is like, that takes a lot of capacity. Like that takes a lot of emotional and mental capacity to be able to constantly talk to other people and like and be there for them and like guide them through things. And like, especially for you, like you don't have a moment where you can really step away from your bar guests. Like you're there, you're committed, you're on, like at least with me, I can like bop in and out and like get like a little moment of like reprieve. Yeah, exactly. A little deep breath moment. But it's hard to constantly be on point like that. And I think that it's very rewarding, but it's also a lot of work.
It's what we sign up for. And it's just learning how to, I think you just get comfortable with being yourself.
100%.
And it's one thing if you have like a lot of traffic, like if you're at a touristy spot where there's a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
But when you're at a local spot, these people are going to get to know who you are, for better or worse.
Yeah.
So it's almost like just like being like, yo, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not this perfect bartender. I might not have been as good as the last guy, but this is who I am.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to know each other. And so let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
So it's just cool, man. I like, there's rewarding, it's a love-hate. There's rewarding parts to what I do. Like that was fun the other night, is to like have some laughs and like, can you the flaming shots and stuff like that. I don't do that very often ever, but yo, hold on one second. I got to do something with your mic.
Okay. All right. Since we're taking 5, let me just refill our glasses really fast.
We can, this is like, we can go at any pace we want here. I brought this out. I was going to say we could try this one too afterwards.
Okay, great.
It's been sitting here. I bought this last night. I was going to see if you knew anything about this. This is a Gruner too.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah, dude.
See?
Let's go. I know my stuff.
You know your stuff?
Is it bad that it's been out for 40 minutes?
I mean, no. It's fine.
Sweet. Well, we're going to have to cork that one afterwards. But
hell yeah.
So how are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Good.
How about you?
I feel great.
Okay, good.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a lot of stuff that I could keep talking to you about, but what do you want to get out of today? Like, what do you want to come away from? Like, this is your chance to express yourself and what you guys are doing at Deckman's, what you're doing in the industry, anything about wine, like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just more so like, yeah, I guess like just more about Deckman's and just kind of where we're at with this project. And I kind of feel like we've talked a lot about like my past, like how I got to where I am. And so maybe now like just more about like Deckman's itself and like what's this project been like. And then, yeah.
So I had a great, like I said, I had a great experience coming to visit you and the food and the service there. Everyone there was like, how is everything? Like, how's the wine? Are you enjoying the food? Like, really great. The food, the hospitality, the atmosphere. Like, what are you guys trying to, like, is there something that you guys are trying to build there? Or what are you guys looking forward to at Deckman's that makes you guys stand out? Or can you kind of tell me about that place?
Yeah. So Chef Drew Deckman is, he has 3 restaurants in the Valle de Guadalupe that has made him very successful and have like a really great reputation. And he's been operating down there for 13 years with this place called Deckman's. And then he's got 2 other restaurants down there as well. The kind of more mollusk seafood driven restaurant is called Conchas de la Pedra. And that won a red Michelin star last May. And then his other conchas also won a green Michelin star for sustainability, as did Deckman's. So Chef is like super duper passionate about all things sustainable, like where we are literally choosing our seafood from and even like from who and what local farms we're choosing to use. And so it's been a really interesting and very passion driven project because he's so passionate. And I feel like that has just transmuted all the way on to myself. Like just at first when he was like, okay, it's Central Coast and Valle and that's it. Like those are the only 2 regions that you get to work from. That's like basically telling a bar manager, like, you get Tito's and Jameson, go. Like, not ideal, you know? And at first I felt like I was in a straitjacket. At first I was like, wow. You are limiting so much of the creative process and like what could be this program. And it was really hard for me to wrap my head around it at first. Like at first I was just fighting it left and right. And then finally, when I accepted it and just kind of came like, okay, this is what it is. I realized like, oh, it's literally part of his identity. It's part of who he is. It's part of how he thinks. It's part of how he walks and talks. And it's like, he can't have 2 green Michelin stars for sustainability and then be like, let's go pull in all these wines from France and Spain and Germany, because it's like that's so much more carbon footprint getting these wines in here when we could just grab them from up the coast. And so it's like for me to accept that and then take that on, I was like, at first I was, oh boy, it was a tough climb. But now that I've gotten it and I accept it and it's like, okay, cool. Now I get to be like this little, almost like groundhog and like find all the cool niche places and spots and wineries and mom and pop of it all that I think are in alignment with who we are and our identity, you know?
Is that how often, like how much of your time is spent trying to find those places?
I mean, a good amount, like now that it's built and now that it's where I finally want it to be, but we've also been open for 1.5 years. So it's never something that's like done, complete. It's an ever changing, ever moving, ever evolving process. So it's like I change the By the Glass program based on seasonality, based on what they're doing in the kitchen. So
you communication with those guys.
Yeah. So whatever is like seasonal right now, I feel like it's my responsibility to have the wines match. Like, for example, I just changed the like Syrah placement By the Glass because the one that I had for summertime was like very floral and very light and very bright. And now I'm like, well, we're in the thick of winter and it's far more winter vegetables and winter proteins. And we're in a much more heartier, robust place. Like I just thought that the wine needed to match more so.
I think that's cool that he's sticking to like his character. Like that's important to him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really easy in this industry, whether you're a head chef who has Michelin like him, or you're just a bartender like myself, or anywhere in between, to like be pulled. I guess how I'm trying to say this is like to be pulled from any angle and to take any sort of customer and work with any brand who doesn't have the values. But like,
yep.
when I've started my own thing with this podcast, like character people are like really important to me.
For sure.
And like, I think that as you probably get older, like, you know, and he's doing his own thing, it's like those values get more important as you get older.
For sure.
To stick to those guns. Like, this is my brand. We're only doing this.
And it's almost like, and at first I thought it was like just stubbornness and like didn't want to listen. And the more I got to know him and the more like I really learned how he operates, it's like an inner compass that he has. And it's like this sense of self and sense of like just stability within himself of like, this is who I am. And I'm not moving from that, you know?
I love that.
And it's like, and it's also transmuted on to me. Like, okay, cool. Like if this is who we are, then this is who we are. And that's fine. And now I just get to operate in these two spaces, but I'm going to find the best now in these two spaces.
My owners at Stout are like that too.
Yeah.
It's like, this is our identity. This is who we are.
Yeah.
We're not changing for anybody. We don't care. And you see that. I think that, that's like a very like, as I'm at the Irish pub, that's very like cultural.
Yeah.
Like I've never been to Ireland, but what I've heard from, what I've learned is like, it's how do I say this? It's very like, not character driven. We are going to, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but like your identity is very important.
Yeah.
Your identity is very important, and you stick to what you know, and people will, in the restaurant industry, people come in, you should do this, you should change this. So I love that. I love when people are grinding out, and
yeah,
it's a hard thing to do in this economy.
It is. And I remember you like, even like when we first sat down, like for our first initial chat, like before I even like signed on to the project, because I signed on, we opened in August, but I signed on in May. And when him and I first sat down to kind of like discuss how things were going to go, it was like, and I was kind of offering him some outside perspective and outside thoughts and whatever, just from what I've garnished from my experience. And he's like, you know, Jenny, I truly respect you and I truly respect your opinion, but I try really hard not to look to the left or to the right of me. And I just try to look forward. And like, that was something that like really stuck with me, because I'm like, this man is so like steadfast and just so like, we're moving forward. Like there's going to be a lot of voices over here and a lot of voices over here, but as long as like we are in alignment of who we are, we're moving forward. We're going.
There's a similarity between running a restaurant and running a team or whatever it is. And it's like, you got to set the fucking tone.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you're in charge of how it's going to go, and you dictate how it's going to go, you know?
It's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really, really important. I love that. I love when people are, you know, really focused on that instead of just like, I don't know. It's tough. You see it from, I'm not even going to go there. But anyways, okay. So it's a great restaurant. I'm definitely going to come back and visit you guys.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay. I know we kind of talked about this, but with the social media stuff, I do, whether it's like Drew Deckman and the way that he's running your team, I connect with people in this industry who are like hard workers and character driven and like grinders. Mm-hmm. I was out at a new bar recently, and I sit at the bar, and there's a bartender to my right and a bartender to my left. And the bartender behind the bar to my right was doing all the entertainment stuff, and he had like, there were people with their phones out and they were filming them, and he had 3 different mixing stir spoons, and it was like, ooh, look at me. And then I looked over to the bartender to the left, and it was this woman, and she was in the well, and she's just grinding, and she's like grabbing tickets, moving drinks, like, get out of my way, establishing dominance in the well, like pushing people, like getting after it. And I was just like kind of like observing those people.
Yeah.
And I feel like our industry right now is like 2 of those kinds of people.
Yes.
And 2 of those kinds of restaurants.
Yes.
And I was like, and I'm thinking with the social media and everything, is like you're seeing a lot of the guy on the right.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that is like, those aren't foundational elements to the restaurant industry.
Yep.
That people are leaning into.
Yep.
Because of everything that's going on social media. And I feel like we have to keep being the person on the left.
Yep.
The person in the trenches, the hard workers, the grinders, the moving product, the like, get out of my way.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's just an observation I had.
Yeah, and I think that like foundationally, restaurants can't exist without the grinders. I think that we're the ones that are foundationally building the restaurant, like or the bar, or like we're the ones that are putting the foundation in place. And we're so important to, I think, any team, because like we also set the precedent for work ethic. Like we're the ones that don't call out. We're the ones that are there and picking up shifts and taking on multiple tasks and doing what needs to be done to get the job done for the betterment of the business. Like we don't shy away from, picking up a night if someone calls out. Like we're the ones that are like just nose to the grindstone, there for it all. And yeah, the people on the left are there for the show and they're there to provide a service as well. But it's like, that's you can't have a restaurant without the ones on the right. You just cannot. You have to. Like we're the literal poles. Like we're the literal foundation.
It takes sacrifice. I mean, you're working on birthdays and anniversaries, and I see this, and those things aren't always like said out loud.
Exactly.
I've worked with people, and they come in for their shifts, and then the next couple days, that person, that was their anniversary, but they didn't. And it's like there is a lot of sacrifice that goes into running or being part of a team of a successful restaurant, dude.
Yeah.
We don't really see that, and I guess like I like to talk to, I don't know, I'm trying to highlight those people in the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to talk to those kind of people. Not like the people that are just sacrificing anniversary, but like I like the grinders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. And I think that we like can kind of pick up on that skill set a lot from each other. We're like,
you can.
We know you. And a lot of the time, and like no shade to our West Coast brethren at all, but I feel like it is a huge, characteristic of being from the East Coast is that like we have just this crazy work ethic where we just like, we don't really slow down all that often. We don't really like take a lot of days off. We're just like, whatever you need, we're here for it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of my friends that are born and bred from here too, that are that way. But I just feel like characteristically speaking, the humans that I've met from the East Coast just all have this like, just badass work ethic.
Yeah, it's different. I had my experience. I got behind the bar in New York City, in Greenwich Village. So I kind of did that that's what I came into. I was just thrown behind the bar, dude. I never had a training shift.
Wow.
I was a waiter, and they were like, the bartender called out on a snowstorm, and they were like, Taylor, we need you to make martinis. I was like, what? So
yeah, and we're off.
Yeah, it's fun, and everybody has a different learning story and everything. And look, I'm not trying to. I don't want to be the guy that like thinks he's too cool because he came from the East Coast. I have met some incredibly talented people in this industry who grew up here.
Yeah, same.
So I don't want to say that. I think that like you can. Let me say it like this: you really can set yourself apart in this industry based on your work ethic.
100%.
Based on what you put in when you're tired, the late, like you stand out.
Yeah.
And I see it, you see it, your managers see it, the customers see that. That was my observation when I went to that bar the other night. It's like, yeah, we gotta keep the work ethic going.
Yeah,
we gotta keep remembering that that's like what this industry is built on, is like grinding and getting after it. So,
I agree. Yeah, but it's also sorry, I was just gonna say, like, I think it's like also so important, like for our end, for those of us that like are grinders and do take on a lot, like this year specifically, I've tried really hard to focus on like, okay, balance, like, because I don't say no very often. I'm like, sure, I can do that, no problem, sure, I'll take that task on, absolutely, you got it. And I'm just like, doing the most and taking on the most, and because I can, and I know that it will be done to the standard that it needs to be done in. But I've tried also really hard to like focus on like, okay, also maybe some balance and maybe like some, R&R on your day off, or a little mental health hike, or whatever it is. Like just trying to keep that balance is also like been of importance to me lately too.
And I think that's what a big theme of my platform is. Wellness on the Rocks is about balance.
Yeah.
Because, and the saying no thing is really important. People got to fucking remember that, dude. It's like people will pull you from all angles.
Yeah.
And I have this ego to me that I go, I can do anything.
Totally.
I can work 16 shifts in a row.
Yeah.
I can do close opens.
Yep.
And like eventually when you keep doing that, like you do find your limits and you do crash.
Yep.
So as much as I do talk about work ethic, like it is, you got to be careful with that too.
Yeah. Cause I don't really know where my line is until I'm past my line. And then I'm like, oh boy.
No, I know.
Like I'm gonna.
And I've gone past, I know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, I'm so hardworking on here. Like I feel kind of lame doing that, but, I've had to take a step back and really be like the late nights, I get home at like 3:00 in the morning, and it's
Yeah.
just trying to have like a life and relationships and stuff like that is tough.
It is.
It makes you think about your future.
Yeah, very much
know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's like an important conversation is like, how do we do what we do and be good at what we do and love what we do and like champion this industry and like champion the places and the spaces that we love, while also other side of the coin, like taking care of ourselves and like planning for our future and like thinking about next month, next year, the year after. And so it's like trying to focus on both lately.
It's hard, dude. And
It is.
you take care of yourself pretty well. I mean, you're in the gym pretty rigorously, right?
Yeah, I do. I try to get at least like 5 workouts in a week, just for like some, just like, you know, serotonin, man, like movement, fucking, it's serotonin. It really creates that little thing in your brain. And I need it. Like I've like become almost like dependent on it. Like my brain like thrives in receiving it. So it's a good way to balance all the other things that I do, that because I constantly feel like I'm pouring out for other people, whether it's like my staff that I'm the leader of, or my guests, or my chef, or my son. Like I just feel like I'm constantly
At all angles.
giving out, you know, and it's like I need at least an hour for myself. That's like back in. Like
That's awesome.
Back into the teacup we go, you know?
I feel that way too. I feel
Yeah.
like we just are constantly lending ourselves out to people.
We are.
And like what you were talking about earlier, the emotional aspect of what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a
is
lot.
I just listen to people's problems.
It's a lot.
And I don't want to say like I listen to people's problems, but I guess I let people vent. I'm the ear that people vent to.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because like I work at a restaurant, which is an industry bar, and people talk about restaurants all day. And now I'm hosting a restaurant podcast.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm seeing somebody who works in a restaurant. She likes to tell me about a restaurant.
Yeah.
My fucking head's gonna explode.
Yeah.
I listen to people talk about restaurants all goddamn day.
Yeah. Let's talk about something else, anything
oh my
else.
gosh.
Yeah. I mean,
But
but
it's funny.
it's we gravitate towards each other because like we get it. Like we know what it is and what it's like. And it's like, what better space to vent to. And like that's the thing that like I think you don't give yourself enough credit for, is like, yeah, you listen, but like also that's a space that like you're giving to other people to vent to. Like sometimes like when I go into work, like people want to tell me about their issues, their problems that they got going on, and I'll literally tell them like, I don't have the space for that today. Like unfortunately I don't have the space for that.
Yeah.
Maybe after work we can go get a Vesper and we can discuss that, but as of right now, going into
Game
service,
face.
I don't have the space for that.
Yeah, let's check it at the door.
Check it at the door and
Yeah.
tell me after over a very stiff martini, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. It's yeah. It's so funny that you said that. We had our anniversary party at Stout a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my dog Stella, who's in the bedroom right there, ate a chicken bone that was like half the size of her
Oh wow.
beforehand. And
Oh, boy.
I was like trying to I took her to vets. I couldn't get seen. She was fine.
Yeah.
And she is fine. But I don't know. It's like that unknown. And so I like had to go into work on our like anniversary, biggest celebration of the year, with the thought of like, am I going to go home and my dog's going to like, it was really challenging to check that shit at the door.
100%.
When you have all these personal problems going on in your life.
Yep.
It's put on that face of that like, hey, like we're welcome, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, is my dog in my head? I'm like, is my fucking dog dead?
Yeah. Yeah. Do I have some? Yeah. And I
Yeah.
worked with a girl who I loved so much that I opened up the restaurant with, and I'm so glad that her and I are still like friends out in the outside world. But like she became like unbearable to work around because she had so much like inner personal turmoil going on in her life. And I was like, talk to me, tell me what's going on. And she's like, nope.
Well, at least
But then,
you were there for her.
yeah, but then it was also like being around like a walking funeral. Like she couldn't lock it up when she was inside the building. And I'm like, girl, I love you, but you either got to lock it up or you got to take some time off.
You know what though, dude? I think it's cool that you told her that, because like that's really tough, because there's so many people in our industry who do struggle with things in their personal lives.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, I know, like, how do you, I think it's important to be like, dude, check it. Whatever's going on, we got to figure this shit. Like, we got to move.
Yeah, but that's like the part of a good leader, right? It's like, I love you. I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I got you. But if you're not going to take me up on that, then check your baggage. Check it.
Yeah.
Check it. Put it underneath the plane. Get on the plane.
These
we got to go.
Things, dude. These are real things that we go through.
It is.
On both ends.
Yeah.
I've been both of those people.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Same. I've had anxiety attacks at work where I go in the back and like put ice cubes on my wrists, like to like calm down. Like it's a real thing. Like
Yeah.
we gotta just be there for each other and check it when we can and deal with it in a timely fashion, I guess.
When I was bartending in New York City, I was probably like 29. I had a full-blown panic attack behind the bar once.
Oh boy.
Crazy sports bar nightclub shit, and I was doing these crazy doubles where I'd close the bar at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Like we'd close at 4, and then I was back by like noon to the next. It was just like things that I shouldn't have been doing, and I was like, it was like that ego, like how much can I push myself?
Totally.
Like I'll take the doubles, I'll do the 7 days a week, and it like I remember just showing up to work with like 2 fat Dunkin' Donuts, double red eyes.
Oh boy.
So 4 espresso shots in each and just ripping them. And then like the rush comes the club, it's crazy. And as soon as the rush died down, my like energy and heart rate died down, everything. And I went into just like, I started like, fucking in. Like I went outside and puked.
Oh wow.
And because I was just like so overwhelmed of just the stress and the knowing that I got to be there tomorrow morning.
And the caffeine, like
the
dopamine
caffeine
crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I puked outside. I was just like,
Oh boy.
It's funny, dude. It's funny to think back on the things that we do early on. You know what I mean?
100%. And that we just like, that we put ourselves through. Like I can remember like 0 sleep, like go, partying all night, going to work, bartending in the morning, like being on 90 minutes of sleep, just being like, I got it. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a quick,
seriously,
it's a quick
nap.
8. Yeah. It's a quick 8 hours. It'll be over soon. Like,
and then,
no.
And then, but then it's like that starts to like cycles because you say like, oh, I can do this.
Right.
And then like, this is now okay. It's okay to, and then you take a couple shots to get through it.
Yeah.
And then your next day is like, as you get older, and when you're younger, we can do these things.
100%.
But when we're older, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Your body's like, are you serious right now? Is this real life?
Yeah, dude. It's tough, man. I worked a shift where I couldn't fall asleep at night and I had to open the next morning. So I just stayed, like, I was like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up in 3 hours. Might as well just stay up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I know.
It's hard.
You gotta, and that's why I think that's important to like just have these conversations and to be like, yo, how do we take care of ourselves?
Yeah, and like also I think just like checking in with each other, like creating a routine for yourself has been like really helpful for me. Like I try really hard not to miss a workout, not for the like vanity aspect, but for like the routine and like the discipline aspect of it. Yep. And like if I can get through this hour, even though I don't want to, it makes me so much more mentally strong that like it lets me do things that I don't want to do because I know I can get through it.
Yep.
It broadens that like roof a little bit of like, I don't want to, but I did it. So like I'm mentally stronger for doing
something.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you just kind of push those boundaries of like what feels comfortable. And especially like in this restaurant in the last year and a half, like I have become comfortable being uncomfortable, where I didn't think that was ever going to be possible for me because I like doing things that feel like I know how to do this. I'm going to execute it. I got it. And like working with this chef, like every day is a new day. That menu's coming out. You don't know what's on it and you're responsible for a wine pairing in 10 minutes. Yeah. Get it together. Like you have to be very comfortable with not knowing what's around the corner. And that for me was very, very challenging. And I've just become comfortable in the uncomfortable.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Whether you're working in a restaurant or life or the gym is like, I feel like it was really scary getting behind a bar when I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
New York City, Greenwich Village, I was terrified.
Totally.
But it's like, I look at that now and it's so funny because like, it's like, it's just one day you're like, you realize, oh, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's just that weird process, but in order to grow in our professional lives, in personal lives, it's about like being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like pulling the Band-Aid off. And it's like, if we're just like constantly in the state of being uncomfortable, that's like a good thing. That means you keep leveling up.
Exactly.
And it's like doing this podcast like was terrifying for me.
Of course.
Because I wanted to do this for years.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I, I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
And, but now I'm like, this is going to be episode 21. And it's like kind of wild to think about, like when the first few, I was like, I don't think I can keep this up.
Yeah.
But it's like that ability, like training our minds to keep taking that step into the unknown.
Yeah.
And you get fucking punched in the face or you get injured or you have a bad shift or a bad Yelp review. And it's like rebounding and constantly building yourself up is like part of the growth in this industry.
Yeah. And I think like for me personally, I always set a goal for myself every year, like whether it's like in or outside of work, I always make sure I set myself at least one goal that feels terrifying, that feels like no way is that going to be possible. Okay. And then every year I like look back and I'm like, see, you did it. Like you did it. You didn't think you were gonna, but you did. And so it's like, even though it feels like terrifying and scary, like that's where the growth is. Like that's where we become better, and that's where we become more valuable, and we become just like better versions of ourselves, you know, and like we're constantly stretching our capacity. And I think it's like just super important because that's how we get better.
So with that, if somebody is afraid of being, you know, I want to try to become a sommelier.
Yeah.
What would some tips or advice be for those people who are thinking about it and they actually want to achieve it? What would you tell them?
Honestly, like getting together with a group of your friends, everybody buys a bottle, you put it in an old school paper bag, or you get a wine chiller and you pour it from it, and nobody tells anybody what it is. They're called blinds, and everybody blinds the bottle at the same time. And you just talk about it and you try to figure out what it is. And then you go home and you read a chapter of maybe the Wine Bible, or you listen to a YouTube channel, or, you know, you coincide physically doing something that is tangible, that you are seeing and that you are tasting, with like a school book aspect. Like you're reading or listening and then you're physically tasting. And it's like those two things combined, I know for me, like really helped me on my journey, because at first it was just like, there's so much, like, how do you even like begin to chip away at this? Yeah. But once you start to really understand like the nuances of what is what and why, it becomes so much more like doable and easy. And like, I think with the younger generation that is coming up, those that do want to learn, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it, and let's open this bottle and let's taste it. Like any new by the glass placement that I put on the wine program, we sit down every Friday, I open it, we talk about it, we taste it. They have the visual reading notes, like the tasting notes, in our group chat. So they have a actual thing to read if they need a refresher. Yep. But I think sitting down with a group of people that you feel comfortable with and just doing what we're doing, just talking and chatting and figuring out what is, I think, really helpful.
Bro, it is, as much as, you know, there's the tasting, right? Like that's what you got to taste. But it's also, there's an element, you got to be able to like describe what, like, it's so funny for me. This was like the whole expression thing is what I talk about on this podcast. It was really challenging for me. Like I didn't really do that much. You know, but like that's a huge part of what you guys do as somms, is like to be able to like describe that wine to people. Yeah. It's like a selling process.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's like beautiful though, because like people like aren't really that like, you know, oh, it's not that, or it's this, or they're, you know, they're so happy to just have me there and have someone talk to them and describe them what they may or may not have known. I think they're just really grateful for the input, you know? And like at first, especially with Chef's Counter, because I'm talking about wine 7 different times with 7 different courses, I was like terrified. I'm like, I'm going to get this wrong. I'm not going to get this pairing right. Yeah. Like, you know, everything is right or wrong, or, you know, very terrifying in my brain. So at first I was like, just make sure it's correct, Jenny. And then I learned like, there's really not ever going to be like a right or wrong. It's like, it's so subjective. And as long as you describe it in a way that makes sense to people, that they can feel, and you're like just having a very simple conversation, they're going to feel something, and they're going to like be very receptive to it. And that's something that was like really important to me. It's like, you know, I can tell you about this wine, and I can tell you about this climate and the year, or I can tell you about a story, and I can give you a few tasting notes, and I can give you the reason why it's here in front of you with this course. And I think that's much more moving and personable than
reading the label.
Exactly. Or like,
what's on,
or like the scientific, like the science behind it all is like, people don't care about the soil. They don't care about what the weather was that year. Like they really don't. They just want to hear a story that's cool, that makes them feel something, and they want to know how it's going to go with the food in front of them. We do go out to interact and to have that person-to-person connection. Yeah. You know, it's really, you know, I've learned that. How long do you think, like, do you have at the table face to face with your customers, roughly? If you could do that, I don't know. I mean, it's again dependent. Like if I'm at the table and it's a dining room table, I could be there we could be together anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And I'm there at least 4 to 5 times per experience, right?
Yeah.
But if you're at chef's counter with me, like where you sat, that's a 9-course experience. And I'm there 9 times.
Wow.
And I'm there talking to you about wine 7 times. But I'm there constantly like clearing and resetting you and just like making sure you're good. So it's like I'm there. We're if you're at chef's counter with me, we're together for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours.
And you're there almost the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so that's a bit more interactive and a little bit longer of a conversation than like hitting tables and presenting them.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just thinking, dude, like these podcast episodes, I try to relate what you do to what I do, the bartending and all that stuff, but like I have an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to talk to you.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, how am I going to fill that time?
Right.
But as the thing goes on, I'm like, it's not enough time. I
Right.
could be here for 4 hours. I could do this for 4 hours.
100%.
And so that's what I was thinking about you is like, I wonder, like, is it like 5 minutes a table, 20 minutes a table? And it's like, you tailor that experience. You got to do it into a time frame.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's also like not like a clear cut like blueprint thing. Like if I don't have to get that table back, like we could be there for 3.5 hours. We could be there for 4. Like we could be there all night as long as I don't need it back, you know? Like so it's completely dependent on the situation and the experience of the guests of what they're needing. Like I had a 3 top of gentlemen, like I was telling you on last weekend, that was there for 3 hours and like drank 2 bottles of wine and cocktails and like had the time of their life. And I'm like, don't go, stay forever.
Yeah,
like you're having a great time with me. I'm having a great time with you. Like, so or I have couples that have to get to a show in an hour and I'm like, okay, cool. We've got 60 minutes. Let's
how do we do this in 60 minutes?
Yeah. Let's have a great time.
There is, yeah, dude, I used to think there's so many different ways to look at sales. Some sales is like, stingy and lame, and it's like, let me get you to buy this. It's transactional, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But like having that ability to communicate with people and interact with people, it's like powerful.
It is, yeah.
You know, what you do, you're doing it on a high level with like really nice food and wine and everything. And it's like, it's a really interesting skill set to work towards.
Yeah. And it's all
know?
about just like, and it's like time. Like there's nothing I could really do to like teach people to do what I do. Like I've literally had management just be like, just teach them to be like you. I'm like, okay, well,
Bro,
I'm 40 something years old. Like I've been in this industry 26 years. Like I can't just like transmute the time.
I can't get you to, it's got to come from you.
Right. And it's also like, there's so much time that we learn things
Yeah.
over the course of the time that we've put in. So it's like, I can help you understand how I've gotten to be where I am and the skill sets that I possess, but I can't give you the skill sets. Like you have to develop those either yourself or over time.
There is something about time. And like, you can't, like, I remember I went to this really great bar. The bartender was like 10 years older than me. And I'm sitting there, I could like just hear the way he's talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, there's nothing I can do to be like him, because there's something that comes with years spent working in a restaurant that you pick up. Mm-hmm. You could fake that.
Totally.
But people know.
Yeah.
And that's what so at Stout, I'm the youngest person there. And I work around a bunch of guys in their 50s. So it's really, I learned from them through association. Mm-hmm. And working around good people, you pick up on those habits.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Very much so.
If you pay attention. Like,
yeah.
There's bartending school, but that's like something kind of different.
Yeah.
But like the way you learn in this industry is through time spent and through observing.
Yeah.
You know?
And absorbing. Absorbing and observing, I think, are like definitely what has helped me get to where I am, because like even in my early days, like when I was working in New York, like I would just listen and be quiet and stay in the shadows and like ask questions at an appropriate time and just absorb as much as I could by, you know, the super skill setted Michael Jordans of the building. And then I would try to just take pieces of them and then go home and do my own research on my own time, and then come back the next day a little bit better, a little bit wiser, a little bit sharper, you know? And it's like over time you collect that and you just hopefully grow and become, you know, your own Michael Jordan.
You take little aspects of all the places you've been,
the
people you've worked with. There's little things, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, observing and just trying to, you know, do and create your own thing. That's with all creativity and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
That's how I do with podcasts. I listen to what other great podcasts are doing. I'm like, oh, I like how that intro. I like how we did that. I like the you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. It's all creative art expression and artistic stuff. It all, blends together.
It does.
Here, let me get a little splash of
Yeah.
that. And then we can open mine if you don't want to drink all
No,
of
I mean,
that.
no, we can. I have the day off today. You joking?
Yeah, me too.
It's early, friend.
Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, you said the wine Bible, dude. So it's funny you said that. I bought a couple books on wine.
Oh, I love that.
I'm trying to learn about stuff. So this was like, dude, as I said, I was a really big math guy. So
Yeah.
I can't read these like long textbooks, but I bought this Wine Simple.
Cool.
I don't know if anyone has ever read this, but it's a lot of photos, which do well with me.
Wonderful.
And the maps and stuff. But no, I am trying to like learn about all the different aspects of this industry. It was just kind of cool to like read about the wine vessels and like the areas and stuff like that. Like somebody else recommended this book that I got off Amazon. It's called Kevin Israeli Windows of the World.
Oh yeah, Windows of the World. Yep, that's a classic. That's a good one.
Because it's funny because like I had this opportunity to work at San Diego Wine and Food Festival. And I talk about this on the podcast in a couple episodes. I didn't know anything about wine.
Yeah.
And I like had an opportunity to go like interview a bunch of people at the wine fest, and I just like it was terrible.
Yeah.
And it was like, so and what you're talking about, we're in California and all this stuff, so I have to learn about this product. And I guess like I never grew up like trying to drink nice, expensive things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to talk to you about is like, I'm like a Miller Lite and Jameson guy or a Guinness guy.
Totally.
And I guess my parents drink wine.
Sure.
But that never really translated to me. I'm always just like, dude, it's alcohol. I'm more there for the conversation than the thing.
Yeah.
But I can kind of get into it. I see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, I think it's so funny too, because it's like, again, like referencing those three gentlemen that I had, they made a very strict point to tell me like we're three straight dudes. I'm like, okay. Like
they had to say that's so funny that they had to preface the conversation. We're drinking wine, we're not gay. Don't look at me.
I was like, straight dudes are allowed to drink champagne, gentlemen. Like you're okay. So yeah, it kind of does have this, I guess, like stigmatism of like being, a fancier or like more bougie thing. But it's also like, I don't know, like even in like my college years, like my girlfriends and I, when we would get together, like we would get together over like cheese and like tacky rosé. So it was like, it wasn't ever something that felt, I guess like out of the ordinary for me. It just felt like something that it was a thing that brought my girlfriends, and it was another tool, another vessel to get the girls and I together with, like whether it was like cheap, tacky, bottomless mimosas or rosé and dumb cheese. It was just like another vessel to bring us together. So I never really thought of it as like this, like out of reach, bougie, expensive, straight thing. It was just like a tool that was there to bring humans together that wanted to get together anyway. And so it was like just another common thing on the table. Cause like when you're at a table, I think there's something really cool about almost like family style dining when everyone's enjoying the same thing. And then when everyone's drinking the same thing, I think that that's like really cool. Cause it just, yes, you can be having conversations about whatever's happening in your life, but you also then can be having conversations about, oh, how good is this Gruner right now? Like, how good is this Gruner, like with this pork chop or whatever it is, it's like, it just kind of creates more of like connection when people are dining together in that way. I think it's like, I just think it's cool. And like, you kind of see it happen more and more, I think, in this community when people are like really wanting to choose more smaller plates and wanting to have more of that conversation and dialogue, more family style dining. I think wine is just another vessel to encourage, more conversation, more connection, more everyone doing and being on the same page. Cause it's cool. Like, yeah, we can all start off with 5 different cocktails, but if there's a 5 top, it's like, I'm absolutely moving you into wine. Like we are absolutely going into a bottle because I want you all to be on the same page together. I want you all to be enjoying the same thing at the same time with each other.
That's very well said. And you're the transcriber that gets people there.
Yeah, I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
I'm the pilot.
We all have our little roles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. You're the therapist. I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Or the court jester sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it. I guess I never really thought about it like that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I think it becomes like, I don't want people to think it's like this unattainable, like, oh, too bougie thing. It's like, I mean, a glass of wine can be significantly less than a shot of Jameson and a beer, you know? And it's like, that's always where I start my like process when I do begin to build wine programs is like, I'll buy the glass. I'm a buy the glass girly. And I want to make sure that everyone can come into my restaurant and sit down and find something that is A, price point accessible, and B, very cool and off the beaten path, and see something that like you will enjoy. And that's just like the blueprint of how I start to build is like buy the glass has to be on point for me. Cause I love to go in places and have a snack and a glass of wine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The community, and especially where we are in the world right now with the isolation and the cell phones, community is like really important.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find like cool like dessert spots around town.
Oh.
That's like what I've been, it's so funny because around the corner from Stout, it's Crisp. There's like a Crisp grocery store.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have these little cut up desserts. And I when I looked at them, I was like, that's probably like super bad and cheap, and it's like $4.99. How good can it be?
Yeah.
And I bought one, and he goes, "Oh no, we actually get these from this really local bakery down in some town down by the border." And I took a bite, and it's like one of the best fucking desserts I've had.
Oh wow!
And so like my thing now, that's like what instead of like going out, I don't know, I try to find like little things.
Yeah.
Like a nice piece of dessert. That's like my new thing at work is like I'll make myself a coffee, have a piece of cheesecake, and that's my little like treat to myself at work.
Hell yeah. One of my guests told me about this like super amazing cheesecake place. It's over on Adams Avenue. We're going to have to find the name of it because it escapes me right now. Because at first I thought she said Cheesecake Factory, and she asked me if I had gone there, and I'm like, no, not recently. Why? And she's like, oh no, they have the best cheesecake. And I'm like, Cheesecake Factory? She's like, no, it's whatever the name of the place is that escapes me, but it's on Adams Avenue. But apparently they have like the best cheesecake in all of San Diego.
Bro, San Diego really is, it's a really great city. Like, I'm so glad I chose this over Los Angeles.
Oh my God, so much better.
And I'm not shitting on Los Angeles. Los Angeles is great too, but it does feel like small town.
It does.
You're coming from Albany, New York.
Yep.
I grew up in Massachusetts. I lived in Jersey, New York City, Brooklyn.
Yep.
Like, I went out last night, and every place we went to, I bumped into somebody I knew.
Yeah. Totally.
Down in, like downtown Little Italy and stuff.
Yep.
And there's just so many great restaurants and like places to explore.
Yeah. And that's like, this city has and I've only been here since, well, not only, but like 2007, right? So like going on almost 20 years. And the way that it's shifted and changed in these last 19 years is wild.
How so?
Like downtown, specifically Gaslamp, was the place to go back then. The place. Like,
were you here? Was the convention center here before you or after you?
No, it was here.
Okay.
Yep, 2007. So that was still very much here. But downtown was like the only place that people had to go to like go out. And then Little Italy was like a literal like parking lot for downtown.
Really?
So people would like park in Little Italy and walk to the Gaslamp.
Huh.
Yeah. It was like completely different than it is now. All the places in Little Italy are all in the last like 10, 12, 13 years.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And you're up in North Park. That's an up and coming neighborhood.
So much so.
Yeah.
And like our restaurant is like one of the first restaurants to be doing what we're doing in North Park, because North Park is a very like cocktail heavy place, like a very specific craft cocktail crowd, which I love. Like I love once again that San Diego has taken this shift, and we've taken it on, and we are like, because at first we had this like weird beer wave where there was like breweries on every single corner. It was like a Starbucks but a brewery. We're like, okay, hey, new brewery.
A lot of those places are shutting down now.
I know, because it was like
sucks.
it was a lot at once. It was a lot at once. But now I think we have really reined in our need and our want for a craft cocktail scene, and that is 100% where we excel from Los Angeles. I think like they are still very much caught in like the mid 2000s where it's like they just give people the expensive, whatever, Casamigos, Clase Azul stuff. And we're like, oh no, hold on. Let's like actually build a cocktail for you that is beautiful and thought about and intentional and creative. And especially in the last like 2 to 3 years, even the creativity that has happened in this city
you can feel it.
Is
It's
insane. It's excelling, and it's wild to be a part of. Like it's like just, I think the cocktail programs have really taken off, and just the things I'm seeing with creativity is like wow, like,
Yeah, I like
really,
it.
really cool.
And some of our friends are the ones that are building these programs.
Yeah, very much so.
And that's like cool. Like I've been out here for coming on 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I do like watching people do cool creative stuff.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? Because we all started at some point.
Totally.
And, like, what you're doing with your program and like, being able to put your name now on Deckman's wine program and stuff like that. There's people that are starting speakeasies and like, it's cool, man. I like to connect with those people because it's kind of what I'm doing is like showcasing the city a little bit,
Yeah. And I think like it's a good space for it and it's a good time for it because I think everyone is really leaning into their kind of more creative process. And it feels good that like the businesses are allowing that they're like really like they're knowing that that's kind of where the city is and like where the pulse of the city is, that we're like really, we're in this very cocktail heavy space right now. And I think they're allowing the bar leads to just run with it and to give them that creative force and that creative freedom.
Yep.
I think is super, super cool. Cause it's like, then it's like they're a kid in a candy store and it's like, yeah, cool. Let's put some awesome, amazing things out here. And it's
it's like, what touch can I put? And I wonder, I do wonder though, like if it's going to last. I do think about that, like the craft cocktail scene, because I don't know. What's cool is watching these bars. What does seem to be working is the affordable craft cocktails.
yes.
Because the expensive places don't seem to be doing very well.
Yeah.
Because of where the economy is and stuff like that, like you got the guys at Happy Medium. Mm-hmm. You have, Gillies has their craft cocktail bars, but they're tailoring them towards people who can afford them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That seems to be the trends.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we make quality products affordable for people to come out and spend?
Exactly.
So it's just it's interesting to watch people do what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I love obviously the guys at Happy and like the guys at Coop. Like I think that they're doing, just really cool, really creative things, but like just like you said, like targeting it more in a approachable, affordable way that like just feels comfortable to just go out and have a cocktail. Like
comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the hospitality aspect.
Yeah. Like I want you to feel comfortable to go out and have a cocktail and not feel like it has to be a once a month thing.
And be yourself and be welcomed. And that's what I mean by that is like, how do we lower the price and also make you give that mom and pop hospitality, but also create a product that's elevated that people can enjoy and come out and worth spending money on.
Yeah. And that we stand behind. That isn't just like, we just like threw some things together in a glass and like, here you go.
Right.
Like they're still standing behind it. It's still really great and really delicious. Like I was in there on Sunday and had one of their Christmas cocktails and it was like this like butterscotch and rum and lime and like all of these flavor profiles that you would not necessarily think would come together well.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. I'm like, great job, guys. Like
that's always been my critique towards those style of bars is like it takes 12 minutes to get a drink and there's no connection. Yeah. But the places that people are figuring out how to do both, how to create a good product and have that connection. Yeah. And like when I go to visit you guys at Deckman's, like I came over when I've had some other friends who have worked there with you and I visit those people and everyone has smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
It's like, even when I came and saw you the other night, you were taking care of me, but other people were walking up. Hey, how was that? Can I get you anything else? Like that interaction is really important, dude. And you guys are definitely bringing that at Deckman's.
Yeah, we try. I think like we lean really heavily like into the hospitality, because like we are, at the end of the day, we're a neighborhood restaurant. Like we are not trying to be a destination restaurant. We are not trying to be a special occasion restaurant. I want to curate and want to envelop the neighborhood in which we exist in. And I want to know the people that live in our neighborhood. I want to know their names and I want to know their anniversaries and I want to know all the things. But I think the only way that you get people back in your building is by being hospitable and you knowing my name and me knowing your name and us having that dialogue and having that connection. And I think both can exist. I think I can give you a really beautiful plate of food and a great glass of wine and make you still feel warm and welcome and not be stuffy or pretentious. I think both can exist.
I think the gas lamp's lacking that a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, I don't mean to shit on the gas lamp. I think there are some great restaurants there. I go to some great bartenders there, but
it's hurting.
They gotta do something with that shit, bro. I don't know what it is.
It's hurting, man. And like I said, like that was like the spot. That was like the place of San Diego to go. Like just back when I moved here, and to see it like just have this like downward spiral has been like kind of
I
sad.
wonder like if it's like, because it sucks at Stout because all the places around us, Stouts, we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
But like everyone's closing down around us. Another bar just went up for sale around the corner, and it's just like, it feels like every other week I hear like a staple of San Diego is going out of business, dude.
Well, down there it's like Zombieland, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, so I'm just, I'm trying to I don't know. What can you, like, you got to work hard and treat people well, and you can only do so much. And it's unfortunately the reality.
Exactly.
But it is cool, dude. You got to come check us out at Stout.
I will.
It's literally like,
I will.
Like I said, everybody who's in there. It's all
I'm sure.
regulars. It's locals. That's how I met Molly.
Yeah.
And she was great. She'd stop in after a shift. She'd drink her Stoli Elite. We always would get that bottle for her.
Aww.
It's like one of those kind of places, dude. And she moved out of the neighborhood, and so we don't see her anymore. But it's cool, dude. I've learned so fucking much.
I bet.
I've learned so much working at like a local neighborhood spot. And I have all these friends who are working at these crazy nice places that are like, oh, we're going for Michelin and stuff like that. And they're learning their stuff. And I'm like, I don't know any of the things you're working on, but I'm learning a whole different skill set.
Totally.
You know?
And like there's skills to be learned, I think, in every pocket and in every corner and in every facet of this industry. Like how to dialogue, and how to be hospitable, and how to probably like crank out cocktails now, when you're busy and when it's going in there.
Speed is, you got to have speed at the place.
And it's like, there's
different skill sets for everything you do, for every type of restaurant. And I don't get into the measuring contest of who's like, I feel like that's what people do in our industry. Oh, you work here. He works at that kind of bar for this many years. He doesn't, I'm like, bro, you're a som at a wine bar. You're hanging out with a Irish pub bartender.
Yeah.
It's like cool. Like I don't measure, it's just different. There's different things.
Exactly. And I don't think that there should, because like, what are we measuring it?
I think there is. I think there's a little status thing that I see from people,
Really?
I think like the local dive bartenders like look at the mixologist and they go, that's not real bartending. And then the mixologist look at the local dive bartenders like, oh, you just work at a dive, you have no skills. Like that's like the battle that you see, you know what I mean? Like that's like the conversation.
Interesting. Interesting.
But I meet really good people who work in all sorts of who work in both aspects.
Yeah.
It's just and there's shitty people who work in those too. You meet people and you're like, you suck at your job.
Yeah. Why are you so bad? Get better.
And I don't want to call any of those people out because somebody could do that to me. They're going to put me on a fucking podcast.
No.
I told a guy at a fucking cocktail bar to go fuck himself a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He shall though that not be named.
He sucked. But anyways,
okay.
It happens. That's part of the industry,
It is. We're not going to get along with everybody, but hopefully we can all play nice in the sand together. And, I think we should all... I think that there's space at the table for everybody. Like I really do. And I think that as long as like you believe in what you're doing and you're happy in what you're doing, even if it's just for like right now, then like, cool, good for you. And if this is like a career for you, like that much better, like even cooler and better for you. Right. And it's like, I don't think that anything is less than or better than. I think everyone is just trying to create, A, creativity, and B, trying to just give people an experience. And I think that that's something that we all are trying to do, and like, good on us, Yeah. I never, when I first started out, I never thought that like it was more transactional. Yeah.
When I was first getting into this stuff, it was very like, dude, I need your money. Let me do a little song and dance. Here's your bill. Mm-hmm. And I think like as you get older and you go through this industry, it's like you enjoy these aspects of what you do, and like it becomes less transactional.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like I want to wait on as little people as possible and have as like, high as check average as possible, obviously. But like, I want to also be home at 10:30 p.m. and I want to, not be ran into the ground anymore. Like, I feel like those days are behind me, and I want to like have smooth, easy services where I can give people this amazing, incredible experience, but also afford to live in San Diego on my own. So it's like this balance.
That's the balance, dude. It's tough.
This very tightrope line that we all walk, you know?
It is, dude. It's a balance. And it's I know, teetering on that line.
Yeah.
All right. I had a question about like corks, oxygen, and the aging process. It's a loaded statement. No, like,
Okay.
I just like, what happens with like, okay, there are these old bottles of wine. Let me get that. Bottle's from 1965, and it's got that old cork in it.
Yeah.
Can't the cork like spoil and ruin the wine? Like, wasn't there a difference between like old corks and like the way they do corks now? I don't know if you know the answer to these questions.
I mean, yes and no. Completely dependent on where it's from.
Okay.
But let's just for the sake of argument say it's from Burgundy, right? Burgundy has two varietals, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So let's say it's a 67 Pinot.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the corking style and the cork material was a little bit more porous back then. I don't know the exact grain of tree that it's from.
Okay.
Like, we're getting real technical and my brain is like, I'm off today. I'm not I don't
It's
wanna.
Ignited restaurant Jenny.
I know. I was like, shit. I was like, I wasn't prepared.
We're having such a good conversation. Back
like,
to work.
We had to get a classroom on me. God.
I'm just like, I'm interested in like the steps of these things, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what something about like oxygen can creep into the bottle, and
It
like,
does.
it can spoil the wine or something, right?
Exactly. So the more porous the cork, and if it's not stored correctly, that's why the wine is called corked. If it has gone past its prime, if it's spoiled.
Okay.
And the way that we know that is if we open it and we smell it, it tastes almost like or smells almost a little vinegary. Like if there's anything vinegar at all, gone. But there's also wines that, especially from its 1967, that are going to take a long time to open and to relax.
Right.
So there's, again, that fine line. I just opened like an 85 the other night and they're like, it's not great, but it's not bad. And because it needed time to like express itself because it'd been trapped in a bottle for the last damn near 40 years. Right. So it's like,
how'd you handle that?
They were aware it was their bottle. So
it was their bottle.
Yeah. I don't have anything that old. My oldest is like 2012.
Okay.
So they knew. And I knew as well when I smelled it, but they were like, it's not great, but it's just going to need a little bit of time to express itself, to basically like relax. But it isn't corked. It isn't bad. It just needs time to open, breathe.
How do you handle when you open a bottle and they say, no, I don't like it, and it's like a $250 bottle? What do you do?
So that honestly doesn't happen to me. I'm such a like, I don't want to use the word control person because that's not the right word. I'm just such a curator of their experience, and I just have the reins on what's happening so well that like they don't even taste the majority of the time. The only time that would happen is if the wine itself is actually corked. Okay. So if that wine is actually gone bad, then like, yes, I remove the bottle right away and we get a different one.
And you could tell.
And I can tell.
Okay.
And they'll smell it and be like, you smell it. And I'm like, oh. And that's only happened like 3 times in my career.
So do people say like, nah, I don't really like this wine?
No, because it's not really, I'm not asking you at that point if you like it. It's not really up to debate if you like it. It's whether or not the wine is good or not. Okay. We've already discussed what is going to be on the table.
Got you.
And what the wine is going to be in such a way that makes sense for you and for your guests. And they've already approved that sale essentially.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm not really asking if you like it. Like that's not really
It's not,
it's not really relevant anymore. Yeah. I've already sold the bottle to you because we've already had a conversation about it.
I thought for some reason people would like, I don't know. Maybe that was just something I had in my head. That
I mean, they can.
That's what I'm saying is like, I have this idea. I don't really understand how that whole, like, I don't know. I have a different perception of the wine and just like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think you think it's a lot more like
Somebody was sending back goddamn fucking Coors Lights the other night. Like, and I'm like, dude, are you kidding? Like, you sent it back 2 different Coors Lights? It's Coors Light.
it's literally beer
It's
water.
water.
It's beer
Like,
water. You're fine.
I'm chugging that shit.
Yeah,
Unless
it's-
there's like a bug in or a cigarette butt in my beer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. No.
it's so funny.
That's weird.
Yeah, anyways.
But yeah, no, like once I bring the wine to the table, we have the majority of the time already talked about it. We already know what it's going to be. We already know why it's going to be there, how it's going to go with the food. Like I've already guided them through that whole experience. So they're at that point just acknowledging the bottle. They're acknowledging the vintage is correct. And they're acknowledging that the wine isn't bad.
Okay.
But whether or not they like it isn't
So
really,
it doesn't, not my fucking problem.
it's not, it's yeah. And also
my
like
problem.
liking it is subjective. Like, all right.
All right.
Well,
So I have one more question for you.
yeah.
What do you think hospitality looks like in 5 years from now?
Oh boy.
A loaded question.
I know. I really really hope that it is getting, I hope it's going to get away from the more like counter service QR code vibes. And I hope that it stays person to person and that there's always going to be a need and want for our industry. Like I think, and even though it's tight and we all feel the squeeze, I think our industry is the only thing that is 100% recession proof. Like I think it's the only thing with certain caveats, right? Like the higher end restaurants that like take, a lot of income to go to, but I think people are always going to want a space to eat and drink that isn't at home.
I just think that like they can't afford. Like I think they want those things, but I don't think they can afford it. Dude.
But I
We're
think-
seeing that.
For sure, but I think the things that will go first, like, will be the extra things,
Right, the fine dining and like
Yes.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like I'm seeing in California, local small businesses are they can't sustain
yeah,
with the price of cost of goods, wages and rents and like like that's I'm seeing places shut down left and right.
yeah. But that's also because you work downtown, and I'm not
Okay.
and I'm not trying to like shit too much on downtown, but it's also like the city down there is definitely struggling. But I'm working in North Park, and I have a multi-million-dollar restaurant going in 2 blocks away.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it? What really? Oh wow, we don't have to give them a shout out. We want to go Deckman's.
Yeah.
Screw that place.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But
And like another one just opened in UTC, and another one's
so
opening.
places are definitely opening.
Places
But, like,
are opening. Places are opening, but it's like, again, I think that, people in this town are forever going to want a place where they can go and eat and drink. But I do think the, fine dining, coursed out places are going to feel it. Like they're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And I think in 5 years, I hope that a corner has been turned. I hope that, the economy gets a little bit of a breath. I hope that tariffs are a thing of the past and that we all can just have goods imported from other places that don't cost an arm and a leg, and we can just go back to business as normal, right? And we can just blink and this time in history will be over and we can all just relax a little. Because I think socially and economic, like with the economy, I think everything is just like tense. I think we're in a tense time, and that I know is hard to operate in. But I think hopefully in 5 years we have new spaces that have come in where the old ones closed, and I hope that the city will just continue to reinvent itself and to continue to grow.
Dude, that QR code shit is like I can't.
I cannot.
So there's trying to. So what the concept is they're trying to save labor by eliminating a waitress or a waiter.
Yep.
And you walk up to get your food, but it's like, so maybe I don't own a restaurant, so I don't understand this. I'm a bartender. Like, why are people tipping on that?
Yeah.
You get in line to order your beer.
Right.
I was at a place last night, and like I was sitting at the bar. So somebody would come talk to me, but I knew the group of it's so funny. I ran a bunch of stout regulars.
Yeah.
They were sitting behind me. They walk up and they stand in a line to order their things.
Wow.
And I understand if you're at a busy bar, you're kind of waiting and you're in a line, but like, it's like that one little section where you like go up and like, I make my money off hustling for people and trying to provide service and interacting.
Yeah.
Less about like punching into a screen.
Totally.
So I just don't, that concept, I understand they're trying to save labor and it's the way the world is and everything, and that's what it's adapting. But I'm like, dude, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, because it takes like, I think like us out of the equation, and we're like,
It does take us out of the equation
yeah, and we're like, wait, but we're a quintessential part
of this industry.
of this. It's the literal hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So without people, how are we supposed to be hospitable? Like, what do you mean? That's in the name. Like that's what we're doing. Like, we have to be hospitable to each other, and we have to make people feel warm and welcome, and like you're coming into your own house. And it's weird to think that could be, dissolving.
Maybe it'll come back around,
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this little thing.
I hope so.
And then people will be like, no, we want, yeah.
I hope it's like a blip.
Or the places that have that hospitality will be the ones that excel.
I hope so.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I just feel like where we are right now is such like almost like an unprecedented time too, that it's hard to predict what's going to happen after it.
I just remember being, when I was 25 in New York City, waiting tables, being like, this industry will never go away. It's going to last. And then COVID came, and I was like, pfft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then 2021 came, and the pendulum swung the other direction.
Yep.
And everyone was like, please, dear God, take my money just to give me a table to sit at that isn't my own.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think,
remember that.
Yeah, like that was like one of my best years in a long time. And so it's like, I think everything hopefully will come around full circle, but it's also like, we don't know, because we're in unprecedented
times.
Yeah. Uncharted
you gotta
territory.
Get creative, and you got to save your money, and you got to just,
You got to create a podcast, my guy.
I mean, yeah. What would your podcast be called? What would you do for a podcast?
What would man, you with these quick fire off questions.
Jenny's jumping wine. I don't know. Jenny's Would you do a wine podcast, fitness podcast? You could do both, dude.
I would probably
that shit.
I would probably do both. Yeah. Like I'd probably just do like
you and Molly should get together and figure something out. Jenny and Molly's adventures through San Diego.
Yeah, like because we do hang out quite a bit. She's my work wifey. I love her so much.
Dude, it's hard to make money doing this stuff, but it is a really cool creative experience. Like
totally, I'm sure. Yeah, because like I think the more you're around creative people, the more like creativity flows. Like it's just the way energy works, I
think giving people a voice, the way social media works, anybody can get on a phone these days.
Yeah.
It's like the connection. I can reach somebody in Japan right now.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I used to think about that. We were talking about that podcast. What's the one you were listening to?
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy. I just remember listening to that when they left Barstool Sports and started with, I think it was, I don't know who pays them. They signed like a multi-hundred, like it was like $150 million a year deal. She was the number one paid female media personality in the world, and just being like, dude, to start a bar and make that kind of money will never happen.
Never happen.
You will never. You could have the greatest bar.
Yeah.
You could have 15 bars. You will never make that kind of money that woman is making.
Yep.
Sitting in a chair talking on a podcast.
100%.
And the ability to reach your reach with this microphone is so much greater than having a neighborhood bar.
100%.
And it's like, whoa, dude, it just kind of gets you thinking.
Yeah. And she does it like in her jammies, like in her living room.
She's and I'm not saying it's easy. She's incredibly talented.
She
Alex
is.
Cooper.
Yeah.
And what she's built there. I know that I'm familiar with the whole story with bars. I remember when they first came up at Barstool and everything. Yeah. You should look into that.
Yeah.
Those early days.
Oh yeah. Barstool Sports. Yeah.
I'm a huge Barstool fan. That's how this whole thing started.
Nice. I could see that.
But yeah, dude, it's the podcast, the creative space, and it's not untapped. I mean, you can still get in.
Yeah.
I haven't figured that out yet. I'm trying to, but it's all about, consistency and creativity.
100%.
The ability to connect and to like, network, and it's like a whole thing. We'll find out. There's some people in the city who are doing this creative stuff too, man. They got their creative restaurant platforms.
Yeah.
I'm trying to connect with them. That's been kind of a fucking journey. Pitching, dude, the whole, like, just pitching people.
Yeah.
Trying to like be like, hey, I have this platform. Out last night, I was like trying to get people at the restaurant we were at to come on. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, all right, bro.
All right, fine.
Yeah. It's really funny. I've been bringing on a lot of women lately.
Yeah.
It's not by intention. It's only because women like want to come do these things.
Yeah. I think that we just like want to also talk about like where we are and what we're doing. And I think that, and again, like I think that there has been a movement and a shift that like women are really building a lot of cocktail programs around the city. And and or wine programs. And it's like, I think we're finally in a space of almost like leadership now. And I think that we are and should be very proud of that, you know, and I think that that's probably resonated with them. Like, yeah, I'll absolutely talk about what I'm doing and where I'm at and like what I'm doing and where I was and where I'm at now. And it's like, cause I think we're seeing a shift of definitely more women being in leadership roles now. Yeah. Which is like, hell yeah.
It's cool, man. Yeah. It's expression. I think men are a little hesitant to express themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to like show that that's okay to do that stuff, you know?
100%.
You can do it. And vulnerability is a weird thing. It's a weird, challenging thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't need to be like, it can be a strength too, you know, especially like in these settings, in this space.
It's cool. Well, Jenny, anything else? What do you think? Any last words? Like, what do you?
I mean, yeah, I guess just, you know, come visit me at Deckman's. Come drink some wine with me. Come have some oysters with me. And,
What days do you at Deckman's?
Tuesday through Saturday. We're closed on Mondays, but my days off forever and always will be Sunday, Mondays.
Sweet.
Yep. So Tuesday through Saturday, full time. Come have some wine with me. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Or keep it to yourself.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers.